how do you get marketing and sales on the same page? Because essentially marketing tees up sales, no matter how you look at it, right? And events are marketing that is teeing up sales. Like you said, afterwards, these leads got to go to somebody. Someone's got to make the calls and send the emails. So how do you create that alignment, even though it's a challenging thing to do?
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm so glad you brought up, like the booth training element of it, right? You just can't send your sales team to go op a booth and expect stuff to come out of it, right?
Nope.
Spend a lot of time setting up the mechanisms in the booth that enable your booth staff to have an easy follow-up process. One of my, it's not necessarily something that keeps me up at night, but a pet peeve are the post-event follow-up emails that everyone gets. It's, 5 to 7 emails all within the first 2. It's a mess, right? And we know that there's people who want to talk to us, who said that they want to meet with us, and you're just buried. So what we've done to help support our sales team with getting those meetings on their calendars is we're legit just asking people to schedule meetings with us while we're in the booth. Hey, it sounds like a good next step is to get you on the phone with a sales team member. Let's go ahead and get that scheduled for you. And then you get to skip that whole post-event email nightmare. And then your sales team knows, hey, from that event, I have 20 people sitting on my calendar. Maybe I should pay attention to this because they're already there. They're already interested.
What's funny is we talk a lot with our customers about this because it's a question we get all the time is like, how do we bridge this gap? Oh, how do we make sure that we get these leads followed up? And one thing that we preach to everybody and I've talked about is personalization, right? You're there, you're getting these touch points with people. If you're going to treat them like a herd, you're going to get kind of a herd mentality back, right? So that's where it comes into having a good lead capture software, having good information in creates good information going out. So you have to have these touch points. I love that you're saying, hey, let's progress people on the floor into the next conversation. And then you have notes, you have follow-ups, and now you're giving a salesperson maybe potentially a Calendly, right, with them. And then notes saying, hey, like this is Dave. We talked on the floor. He's from Hilton. These were his pain points, he whatever. And now that personalization allows you to progress that conversation forward because to kind of your point, what you said earlier is what happens on the floor, it extends into sales. And it's like, it only matters if sales can close it. So the information going out to them is vital.
Yeah. And to kind of go back to setting of goals and objectives, right? Our goal in the booth is not to collect as many leads as possible. It is to qualify as many leads as possible. So when you're setting up your questions in the booth and you're training your sales team and your staff to have these questions, by the time that lead hits the salesperson's desk, because you've already got it scheduled, your initial qualifier is already done. You've already had that 20-minute conversation of what are your pain points here, how we can help. Move it along. Like there's no need to try and rehash that post-event.
I think that's what we were saying, like the counter idea to that is such an old school mentality with trade shows, which is like leads, scan, get as much as you can. Whereas it is about quality over quantity. And it is about like, are you going to close stuff? Are you going to produce something from this? What are those touch points? Because I think a lot of people know, like a lot of times, if you're going to the right shows, the clientele is there. That ideal customer is there. Those people, they do go, they are engaged, they are interested. So it's a matter of like double downing on understanding that and getting focused on that's what matters. The quantity doesn't matter. I think there's a quantity you may not hit that someone's like, hey, we scanned 5 badges. This is not good or something like that. But it should be focused on that quality.
Right. And depending on what your objectives are too, if your objective is we just need a bunch of people to sign up for free, great, like do the numbers game. But I'm happy going out on a limb and saying that most of these should have a pipeline number to them. And that's really what the objective is make sure that you're getting enough people in the booth as your leading indicator to formulaically figure out, like at the end, here's what we should get in qualified opportunities, which should lead to X amount of pipeline.